All right, y'all. We got some breaking news, and this right here is some bad news for Fani Willis. This is what she get. She deserves all the bad news she is getting for going after Donald Trump for no reason, because it's all politically motivated. The man is winning in the polls. They can't stop him. And Fani Willis, Letitia James, Jack Smith, like all of these people are trying to do Joe Biden's dirty work. Alvin Bragg as well. All of these people, these corrupt judges, is trying to do Joe Biden's dirty work by trying to prosecute Donald Trump, get him out the way so Joe Biden can just walk cleanly across the finish line, which is not going to happen because everything they've been doing to Donald Trump has backfired. So we're going to get it straight into this video. It said massive. Georgia High Court just ended Fani Willis' case against Trump and saying that the trial may never happen, which is good news for Donald Trump and for all the supporters, including myself as well. But like I said, make sure y'all please hit that like button. This right here is massive. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. And shout out to the one that always watches the entire video. I appreciate all of you that do that. And I appreciate all of you who lets me know in the comment section that you did watch the entire video. I really, really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this breaking news, man. We got to check this out by Benny Johnson. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. There's been some dark and ominous news for Donald Trump and actually America over the past couple of days. It's been quite depressing to cover. Last Thursday, they found the leading presidential candidate guilty of a bookkeeping misdemeanor that they literally moved mountains and oceans, still didn't tell us what the crime was, and then said that Donald Trump may spend the rest of his life in prison for it. Why? Well, because Donald Trump, they don't like his skin color, orange man bad, and because he beat Hillary Clinton. That was actually his crime. Let me explain to you. And so this whatever this is, this new form of political lawfare, totally foreign to this country. It's totally and completely foreign. It's Stalinist in its nature. It's locking up your political enemies because you don't like them or because they're a threat to your power. That's what we're seeing right now. And so it's good when that power gets checked. And that just happened seconds ago. Ladies and gentlemen, the case against Donald Trump run by somebody even worse than Alvin Bragg in New York, Fani Willis down in Georgia. That case just got sent into nuclear atmospheric death spiral. Check this out.
Let's go.
Seconds ago, Georgia appeals court halts trial of Trump and co-defendants so it can review conflict challenge to Fani Willis based on her affair. The appeals panel put the Trump case on hold pending charges against Willis, and so now they have said this trial will no longer go forward. This is such an awesome thing in the state of Georgia. This is an amazing thing. The Georgia Appeals Court has put one of Donald Trump's 4 criminal trials on hold, pausing his election interference case there to allow for a challenge based on the Fulton County DA's affair with her prosecutor. The move comes after Georgia Judge Scott McAfee issued a ruling allowing Willis to remain in her role, but not Nathan Wade, which makes no sense because if they're conflicted, then they're conflicted. That doesn't mean one person's just conflicted. It means they are conflicted, right? So Fani Willis has got to go, and you're not going to find anybody else who would ever bring these charges against Donald Trump because they're actually dumber than the charge in New York. Trump was convicted in the Stormy Daniels case in Manhattan. He also has Washington, D.C., but that's totally under lock. They're getting completely destroyed in Florida. So this Georgia case was their last best hope for getting any type of case or any type of pressure on Trump up to the run-up of the election. Oral arguments were expected to be held in October in the Georgia case. That pushes this well past November. So now there will be no case against Donald Trump before the election. And of course, if Donald Trump becomes president, then there'll also be no case against Donald Trump. The move comes just days after the appeals court set the October date for the hearing for the sensational appeal. The twin rulings were another procedural win for Trump, even though it came just days after the guilty verdict. Even if they decide to reaffirm Judge Scott McAfee's decision to allow Willis to stick around, even though she's conflicted, It will absolutely not come until several months after the November election. And that was, of course, the point for all this, was rigging the election. The Georgia Appeals Court has ordered the stay of all proceedings in the Fulton County other defendants seeking to disqualify Fani Willis pending the outcome of our appeal. Very, very good. This is our breaking tweet on this. Jonathan Turley, the appellate court, suspended the Georgia case against Donald Trump until after it considers the disqualification appeal on October 4th. That is 1 month before the election. That means that none of the pending cases will likely result in trial before the election. We're waiting on a ruling on presidential immunity, which may require a remand to the D.C. District Court for further proceedings and findings. That case is also currently suspended. And even when the appeals ends, there remain a myriad of pretrial motions to address. We've also seen what court rules and special counsel Jack Smith may be willing to accept to determine if the trial is even possible in the remaining time. Most cases at this date would not see trial before November because, of course, because the judges are rigged.
Well, this right here is a huge win for Donald Trump, man. This is a huge. Finally, Georgia did something right. Now, we already know Fani Willis already gone somewhere. She's crying right now. She's upset. She's pissed off. And it makes us feel good because this case should never even been brought. She was the one who decided to pick it up. She decided that she's going to try to prosecute Donald Trump and try to send him to jail and all of these bogus charges that she's trying to do. But obviously, this right here was a great thing for Donald Trump. Because like I said, this right here is massive. That they, just suspended the Georgia case. Say, you know what, forget it. Let's look into what Fani Willis did with Nathan Wade, which what they should have been doing. That's why a lot of us were so upset with Judge Scott McAfee because, I called it out for the longest. I felt like he was taking up for Fani Willis due to the fact that the people that was going to vote for her, he wanted them same people to vote for him so he can, stay as the judge, the main judge in charge. So that's the reason why I called him out. I'm like, he kept Fani Willis on this case just for re-election. And I had to call it out because that right there was just crazy to me. And I still don't trust Scott McAfee at all. I still don't trust him. But like I said, at the end of the day, this right here is a huge, huge, huge win for Donald Trump because this is not the news that Fani Willis wanted, but it was the news that we wanted. Facts. It's the news we wanted. We love this news. Shout out to Jonathan Turley, because Jonathan Turley he be on this stuff. Shout out to him. But let's keep it going and see what more happen.
And these systems are rigged, and these people are just total garbage. Georgia's Court of Appeals has just halted all proceedings in President Trump's Georgia trial until it reaches a decision.
And think about this right here. Right here what Charlie Kirk posted. Breaking. Georgia's Court of Appeals has just halted all proceedings in President Trump's Georgia trial until it reaches a decision on whether to disqualify Fani Willis for hiring her unqualified secret lover as lead prosecutor in the case. And you remember they wanted to subpoena Fani Willis. And she told them she don't have to listen to them. Like, Fani Willis thinks that she's just above everybody. I think the Senate committee, they was gonna subpoena her because they want to talk to her about this whole thing, and she said she's not going to do it. She just feel like she's above the law, but she loves to use that no one is above the law, but she thinks she is though. She think whatever she say goes. When they said they gonna subpoena her to talk to her, she's saying she ain't gonna go because they ain't qualified to talk to her. So these people are just hypocrites.
This makes it virtually impossible to bring the case through November. Yeah. So the disqualification of one of the prosecutors never made any sense. This was the original disqualification. Viva Frei effectively saying that it is inconsistent and illogical with itself. You can't inherently say that they have committed disqualifying crimes together and then say only one of them has to go.
Yeah, that was crazy.
This is a
That's where I was pissed off at. How you gonna say that one of them got to go when they both did the same exact thing? Which it should have been Fani Willis the one gone, because she was the main one. She was the boss. She is the one that hired him. So how you it just didn't make any sense. If you're gonna say she got to get rid of one of them, you should have got rid of both of them. It should have been done. But we know that Judge McAfee wanted to split the baby, trying to do something good for Trump by letting them appeal it, and do something good for Fani Willis by letting her stay on the case. Just to try to get himself out of it and leave it up to the appellate courts and all that.
Like a dual package here, right? Yep. Nathan Wade and Fani Willis, for the record, don't agree that they did anything wrong. Fani Willis saying in some super cringe interviews after her embarrassing disqualification hearing that she's really proud of herself.
I feel like my reputation needs to be reclaimed. Let's say it for the record. I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done. I guess my greatest crime is I had a relationship with a man, but that's not something that I find embarrassing in any way. And I know that I have not done anything that's illegal.
Except for your
now you heard what she just said. She said that her greatest crime is her sleeping with a man, but she ain't say the part that you slept with a married man. You slept with a man that was still in a relationship with his wife, and you don't call that being a bad thing? That's a home wrecker. She sit up here and just literally just lied. Her greatest crime is sleeping with him, as if Nathan Wade was just any man. He was just a boyfriend. He didn't have a wife and nothing. This man had a wife and kids, still staying with his wife. I'll tell you the truth, man.
Home wrecker, and you admitted to doing things that are illegal, like stealing campaign cash for yourself.
Whole life. When I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that. Like, to tell you, I just have cash in my house. I don't have as much today.
I just took out money for my campaign, and I just kept some of that cash. So you did commit a crime, and you admitted that. The other crime was, well, you being a freaking lunatic.
So your office objected to us getting Delta records for flights that you may have taken with Mr. Wade.
Well, no, look. I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
So
the clear-eyed ring of a bell of our justice system. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is your district attorney in Atlanta. And remember, if you owe her a G, you're going to get $1,000.
He tells me how much it is, and I give him the money back. I don't, just like you're asking me about the money with Robin, I don't do my friends like that. So if you tell me it's a G, then you're going to get $1,000. Whatever it is.
A G?
They're sending their best. Reminder, she lied about going to the White House. She lied about where she was staying, who she was sleeping with.
Mm-hmm.
Fani Willis couldn't wear her dress correctly. Her American flag pin was upside down. She's a complete mess. She's the hot mess express. And she's been having wardrobe malfunctions all across the country. And Nathan Wade has also been malfunctioning all across the country. Remember, Nathan Wade was the genius prosecutor who had never prosecuted any major cases, who was brought in to get Trump.
Case will ever go to trial?
Oh, absolutely. This case is going to trial. I believe that
before the election?
That day of reckoning is coming. I do not believe that it'll go before the election.
Okay.
The Court of Appeals, they have a job to do.
Sure.
When that'll happen, I don't know. Certainly not trying to opine as to what they'll do.
You don't have to try. Are you
not allowed to talk about this, right? The name that shall not be said, because Fani Willis is still under trial right now.
Yep.
The goal is to get Fani Willis disqualified from this entirely, right?
Georgia case regarding Donald Trump, and now pretrial motions put off, the fate of Fani Willis put off. But that I would imagine, and you were early on this, that means this whole thing could be put off.
Yeah, it could be put off at least till past the election, maybe forever. It's the same thing as we saw in the Washington federal case, Neil. You have to litigate in one court at a time, and if the Court of Appeals in Georgia is going to take that case, that means the trial court can't act on it.
So where does it go? If that one is, the documents one looks a little dicey, but you said there's one that could be resurrected.
So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is why they needed to get that guilty verdict. They had to have it, and they did everything to ensure that it happened because they are desperate and because they are evil and because they must stop Trump. Why? Because they hate you. They actually hate the American people voted.
And you're exactly right. Shout out to Doug, man. I had to bring y'all this news. The Georgia High Court just ended Fani Willis' case against Trump once and for all. This is what she get because she wanted to, remember, Fani Willis wanted this to go to trial before November. That's not going to happen because she already got a hearing in October. So this case pretty much done, especially if Donald Trump become president. It's done. So, wow, this right here was some massive news. Great, like I said before, great news for Donald Trump. Great news for us that supports him and stuff like that. And like I said, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Thank you all for watching, especially the ones that made it to the end. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.